Welcome back. Tonight's theme, Make America One, focuses on bringing people together, creating security and prosperity, and that, of course, includes job growth. Andy Puzder is with me. He's the CEO of CKE Restaurants, also a Trump Victory Committee member. He joins me right now. Andy, good to see you.
Good to see you, Maria.
What would be the most important economic message that Donald Trump can deliver tonight?
Growth, growth, growth.
Yeah.
Growth creates jobs. People need jobs. It also causes wages to go up when employers compete for employees and drives wages up. It also will help quell domestic disruption because people will feel like they have opportunities, they have careers, their children will have them, and it makes us stronger overseas. Remember how Ronald Reagan used our economy to bring down the Soviet Union. New socialist economy couldn't stand up to us without firing a shot. So it helps us internationally, domestically, and it helps quell and satisfy people so they feel like they've got opportunities and can move forward.
We have not had an economic growth year of 3% at all in the last 8 years. President Obama has not seen a 3% growth.
First president not to have 1 year of 3% GDP growth.
That's right. So how do you move the needle on growth?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump has a very pro-growth tax plan that would cause people, it would encourage capital investment. It would encourage people to bring capital from overseas that they've been keeping over to here, where they lower the corporate tax rate. Hillary Clinton's tax plan, unfortunately, is an income redistribution plan. It's not a growth plan. He's got an energy plan that's all of the above. Harold Hamm talks about what a great growth plan it would be. Could add $1 trillion a year or more to our economy. It's a magnificent plan. Hers is based on climate change. And then you've got regulation. This guy, I think I mentioned this the other morning, this guy, look, he's built buildings in New York. He knows what regulations are about. He wants to reduce regulations, get rid of the executive orders, and really release that entrepreneurial energy that's being held back. So.
I know that when the markets figure out that we could actually see a 15% corporate tax rate, they are going to soar. I get that. But the question keeps coming back to, how do you pay for it?
Well, actually, Steve Moore and Larry Kudlow are working with the Trump people right now to come up with a plan that they assure me is going to have a much lower increase in the debt than what has been projected by the tax foundation so far.
Because of growth.
Because of growth, and I think they're also going to make some adjustments to the existing plan. Paul Ryan came out with a plan that's very close to what Donald Trump's plan is.
Okay.
Instead of 11% GDP over 10 years, it was going to produce 9% GDP.
Wow.
But the debt was much lower. So there are adjustments, and he's going to look, if he's elected president, they don't just pass his tax plan, as you know.
Of course.
He's going to have to negotiate with Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, and they will come up with a plan that grows the economy without significantly reducing the debt, and that's just what we need.
Next week, the Democratic National Convention will kick off, and of course, on Monday, they're going to try to draw a sharp contrast to what we've seen this week. They will call for a higher federal minimum wage. They will call for a public option for health care. How do you hope Trump positions himself tonight ahead of what's sure to come next week?
The problem with, and again, I think it's economic growth. The problem with the minimum wage is it's an attempt to solve a problem that bad economic policies are creating. The reason wages haven't gone up isn't because the minimum wage hasn't been higher. Wages haven't gone up because employers aren't competing for employees. Employees are competing with each other for jobs.
Right.
So if we have economic growth, we can increase wages without another government mandate. Hillary Clinton, every problem she sees, she thinks the solution is more government. It's not. We can solve these. The private sector can solve these problems. Just let it loose. Let it function.
And you would know it, running such a large company with employees, you're seeing the direct impact of wages going up. Andy, good to see you.
Good to
we'll
see
be
you,
watching
Maria.
tonight.
Thank you.